through the steps today of making the quilt. We're going to be working on wall hanging / crib size. I'm going to show you the throw size. I'm not going to hold that up right now because it's 75 by 75 inches. It's a little too big for me to hold up by myself and you to get a full picture of it. But this is what the flower looks like. And then it has stem and it's a repeating pattern of flowers. So hopefully you like it. You can also pick up Lindsay Connie fabric on Spoonflower. That link is also on my website. And these are the prints I designed for this pattern. You can pick up all of those over there. The background fabric is Robert Kaufman Kona Ivory, and the binding is the Zinnia Patch Gold from Spoonflower. So I hope you guys enjoy this and happy quilting. Let's get started.
Okay, we're going to get started. First off, we are going to get our templates cut out. And right now we are using template 1, template 2, template 3, and I'm just showing here how you will tape that together for your throw and queen size. And template 4, you don't actually need to tape it for the crib size. I was just demonstrating that for you here. And we have our fabric cut out. We have our E, F, L, and M pieces. Now these are going to look a little bit different than yours. You will have your full width of fabric for all of these. I'm just going to demonstrate cutting out a few pieces. Especially with the E and F, I have most of mine cut already, so I'm just going to cut a few to show you. And again, you'll have your full width of fabric. We're going to take template 1 and just line it up on the edge. I'm going to use our straight edge to go along that diagonal, and it just is a little bit easier to cut this way. Then we're going to rotate the template 180 degrees and cut along the straight edge. And then I'm going to show you here what you would do if you were using a print fabric or one-sided fabric. It's not going to matter with this fabric, but just to show you, we're going to flip the template over. And if you are using a print, you're going to do this for half of your E pieces. And if you do not do it this way for a print fabric, when you go to piece your triangles, your L triangle, you are not going to have one side of that. So it's very important if you're using prints. Here it does not matter at all, but I just wanted you to know that. And I describe it a little bit more in detail in the pattern. So just make sure you see the notes there. And I always just place my marker back, my little sticker, back on my pieces so that I don't get them mixed up. Now we're going to take our F piece of fabric in template 2, and we are doing the same thing that we did with template 1, and we're treating this exactly the same as far as prints go. You will have to flip your template over. Again, it does not matter in this situation with a fabric that you can use either side of. But on prints, you will cut half of your blocks this way with your template facing up and half of them with the template flipped over facing down. Always keeping your print facing up on your fabric. So make sure you just are keeping track of how many pieces you are cutting in each direction. That's really important. And for the wall hanging, we're cutting 8 of these. For the quilts, you will be cutting 24. Okay, so we have all of our F pieces cut. Now we're going to move on to our triangles. We have our L piece of fabric. And again, you will have a width of fabric. The width of fabric will have the selvage on the short end, like I pointed out. And we are treating this the same way we did with template 1 and 2. And for the wall hanging, we will be cutting 4 of these. And if you are making a crib throw or queen, you'll be cutting 12. So with your wall hanging, you will have quite a bit of fabric left over. Again, I don't here just because I'm not using that full width of fabric. And then we're going to do the same with our M piece. Again, you'll have your full width of fabric. And you'll have template 4. And you'll be cutting, again, same as before, you'll be cutting 4 of these for the wall hanging, or 12 for the quilt size. And you can also double up your fabric when you're cutting. Just be very careful that you are lining up the edges and you're getting the full size that you need, and not cutting off any width on those triangles. Okay, now we have our G piece, and this one's simple. We're just going to make a diagonal cut down the center. Okay. Done with that. Okay, now we're going to move on to cutting our circles. This is piece in. Gonna iron this real quick. Okay, we're going to first fold it in half and finger press, and again fold it the other direction, finger press. This time we're going to leave it folded, and we're going to grab our template. This is template 6 we're using, and this is a half circle template. It's just a little bit easier than using a full circle. A little bit easier to cut out. Now you're going to use the creases to line up the center marks. I have a center mark at the top and the bottom. line that up. And then carefully cut around the edges. This time, can't really use your straight edge for this, but just keep your fingers behind the blade. That's very helpful. Just go slowly. And as you unfold it, you have a perfect circle. And set that to the side. Now we're going to grab the other piece. This is piece H, color 1. We're going to do the same thing. Fold it in half, finger press. And we'll fold it in half again, finger press again. Template 5. Again, you have your center marks at the top and bottom. This one's a little bit easier to line up because you have excess fabric. I like to just angle it. It helps to cut that curve a little bit easier without having to go at a strange angle with your blade. Carefully cut around the edges. This one, really important to be careful cutting this because you are keeping the outer portion, so you don't want any nicks or anything like that. Okay, and now your circles are cut out. Okay, so we are done cutting our pieces. Join me in the next video to start piecing.